My name is William Pekarski. I am an associate attorney at Adam Lane Bailey PC. So I started off as an extern, then I went to a summer associate position, intern, and then graduated law school and eventually became an attorney full-time with the firm. I was fascinated by how litigation works. At the end of the day, it's kind of like a chess match. A client comes in, they give you a fact pattern essentially, they tell you what the issue is, and your job is to advocate for them and make sure that you're able to produce the results that they want to see. And I felt like that's very intellectually stimulating. It's very interesting to, fashion your own arguments, develop your own strategies. When you start off a case and something is brought to court, you basically have to know the procedure back to front. And it's something that I found was you don't really get that in any other type of career. It's heavy on strategy, heavy on advocacy. So one thing that jumped out to me when I was first researching the firm, I saw the different testimonials, all the different case studies on the website, and I was just intrigued by the caseload that this firm had, the type of high-profile, interesting cases, the fact that these attorneys were advocating for clients and creating new law. And it's just something that I found super interesting. And I knew that the name recognition alone showed that this was a very successful firm. It provided great legal representation, advocacy for all of its clients. And the more and more I researched, the more and more I was drawn to the different areas of litigation, the different types of cases that the attorneys at this firm handle, and I was hooked immediately. When I first looked up the firm, I didn't really know much about the real estate litigation industry in New York City. But when I started looking up the attorneys in the various cases, I saw, for example, the Ground Zero Mosque case. That's something that I was not familiar with, but I knew about. Being from northern New Jersey, very close to New York City my entire life, that's something that's been in the news. And I was just fascinated by the fact that this firm that I was interviewing at handled that case. Other cases like the gentrification of Harlem, other things like that. I was seeing all of the fascinating types of real estate law that this firm was practicing. I was seeing all the different clients, how Adam and all the other attorneys at this firm were impacting their lives. At the end of the day, when clients have an issue with something going on with their property, that's their livelihood. That's their lives, that's their homes. I was drawn to the fact that, hopefully one day I would be able to start working on some of these cases in tandem with Adam and all the other partners and associates and attorneys at this firm. The one thing that struck me as interesting and something that you don't really get in other law firms is the diverse perspectives and just the wealth of knowledge over the years and years and years of practice that these attorneys have under their belt, all the experience, the different court cases, as I've mentioned, that they've handled. I don't think you can say this for many other firms, but the attorneys, and specifically the partners that you work under at ALBPC, they always are interested and always make it a priority to make sure that the younger associates like myself, the interns, the summer associates, the externs, they always make sure that they're learning. They never are reticent to give feedback. They're never hesitant to give you constructive criticism. They're more like mentors. You don't have to be hesitant or nervous or scared to ever walk into a partner's office and ask them questions. For somebody starting out their legal career like me, when I was an extern, some feedback and some advice that I would give to them is don't be afraid to ask questions. I know when you first start a job at a well-known, successful firm like ALBPC, you might be a little hesitant to walk into a partner's office and ask them anything. Whether it be like we do on the first day when we start here, walking in there and asking if they have any work that needs to be done. It is a little daunting, it is a little intimidating at first, but the number one thing is to show that you're hungry, that you're willing to learn, and every time you're given an assignment to make sure that you put in 100%. I learned over time that you're going to make mistakes and that's okay. When you work with attorneys like the ones that we have at AOBPC, they're going to give you feedback and they're going to make sure that the next time you have a situation like this, that you're going to remember what they taught you. I feel like the best way to learn, especially for somebody who's an extern still in law school that doesn't really know much about what they want to do, they just know they want to become a lawyer one day, I feel that it's imperative that you have people that you can work under that are teaching you. Working here, you're going to not only work with attorneys who are very well known in the industry and who provide the best advocacy, but you're also going to learn from them. They always want to make sure that I'm learning. And to this day, things that I can remember from when I started off first month as an extern, I still carry with me to this day. And that's something that I feel like many law firms don't really give you. My favorite moments here are when I'm brought onto a case, when I'm given an assignment to start off in a case, whether it be something that we have to draft the summons and complaint for, or consult with the client about something that might end up in litigation. It's just seeing all of the hard work that we put into the drafting, into the court appearances, whatever we have to do to advocate for the clients. It's seeing that come to fruition. It's very rewarding to see when a client is given a good result, knowing that they were given good legal representation, that their goals were achieved. Because like I said, this is something that is their livelihood. It's a very rewarding experience. I would say, first and foremost, working at this firm, you're going to have experiences that you probably won't be able to have at any other firm. You have attorneys from all different backgrounds who have been practicing law in some cases 40 plus years. You're going to be learning every day on the job. You're going to be working with attorneys who have basically seen everything in the real estate world. They're all expert litigators. You're providing legal services, you're providing clients with the best advocacy, the best representation, and you're also learning in every single day. And that's something that I think, and I know personally that I value here, because from day one I knew that was something that this firm is the best of the best at.